Welcome you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone present here. I invite Dr. R. Mani, Professor, Mechanical Engineering Department, KSR IET, to introduce our chief guest, Dr. S. Prakash, Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology. I call you, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Dr. R. Mani. I am eagerly to introduce my ME faculty, sir. Dr. Prakash Subramaniam, sir. Professor and Dean, School of Mechanical Engineering, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. Dr. Prakash Subramaniam was born in Pollachi, India in 1969. He received the BE degree in Production Engineering from the PhD College of Technology, Coimbatore, India in 1990, and ME, PhD degree in Mechanical Engineering from the Satyabama University, Chennai, India in 2000 and 2010 respectively. He is currently a professor and dean in the School of Mechanical Engineering, Satyabama University, Chennai, India, and has been the head of the department Mechanical Production Engineering since 2015 from 2011 to 2015. He was the professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Satyabama University since 2000. He has been the associate professor in Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Satyabama University. He is a member and chairman of IIPE and an observer in CIDO Fall Meeting, Malaysia. He has published more than 75 scientific papers and books in the field of material for mechanical engineering and composites, and granted with 4 patents. His research interests include machining of composites, optimization, welding, and self-heating composites. He is a life member of the Indian Society for Technical Education, ISCE, IIPE, Indian Institute of Production Engineers, Chennai chapter. He was the chairperson and keynote speaker of the ABM, International Conference on Material, held in Chennai, Bangalore, and Bhubaneswar. He was the recipient of the Best Faculty Award from the University of Satyabama in 1999, 2006, 2008, and 2011. He was the recipient of the Best Research Supervisor Award from the IAR and ASDF in 2018. I am once again warm welcome to introduce here to start the session, to hand over the session, Professor and Dean of School of Mechanical Engineering, Satyabama Science and Technology. Now it's to hand over the session. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all present here.
Good afternoon, sir.
A warm welcome from Dr. Mani. Is giving a nutshell about my resume. Since I was there in the university as well as industry for the past 25 years, holding different designation. In industry up to DGM and institute level, academic level up to the dean. Right now, I am heading the 4 departments in Satyabama University as a dean. As sir discussed and introduced, that I published more than 70 papers and 4 patents granted. Recently, I got on a project in AICT pertaining to 3D printing and also receiving a sanction order about 20 lakhs. From this note, I want to start the session. Once again, good afternoon all. Today's topic is the rapid prototyping, we call it as 3D printing, with biomedical applications. Before starting the biomedical applications, I want to discuss the different type of prototyping techniques used across the global, and this was emerged due to customer requirement and manufacturer requirement to minimize the lead time while during the production of the parts. And previously, when we start with lathe, move on to CNC, now move on to RP. In lathe, for producing particular component, it takes some 8 hours. For a CNC, it comes to 2.5 hours. Now RP, it comes to even 1 hour. So this is the general view that how the rapid time is emerging. As I discussed, I'll go for the definition. The last step prior to production is the building of prototype. This is an operational model, exact in every detail, inside and outside. This is the stage for final testing and validation or evaluation. Why we need a prototype? I want a clear picture. It's the last step prior to production. Before going to produce a part, I want to make sure a prototype and ensure all the functional requirements, the characteristics, properties to meet the standards. This is an operational model, exact in every detail inside and outside. This is the stage for final testing and evaluation. Move on to the introduction part, how the RP is classified. And what is the basic principle concept behind the RP technology? This RP technology or techniques or methods that allow designers to produce physical prototypes quickly. The ultimate aim of emerging of this technology is allow the designers to produce physical prototypes quickly within a short span time, within a limited hours. I want the prototype of the product to ensure the basic functional requirements. There is a main motto and objective of the emerging of this technology, to allow the designers to produce a physical prototype quickly. It consists of various manufacturing process by which a solid physical model of a part is made directly from 3D CAD model data without any special tooling. So whatever you want to produce the component, it should be drafted or drawn in a standard software and converted into proper CAD files, which in turn the CAD files are linked to the RP machine to produce the parts. So in order to convert the CAD files, we have used different softwares. Similarly, depends upon the accuracy, depends upon the integrity, depends upon the tolerance value, depends upon the need, depends upon the mass volume production. We can choose any one of the RP manufacturing process. It has a wider group and variety of processes are available. So we can choose, depends upon our reliability and cost cutting. The first commercial RP process was brought on the market in 1987. So the basic concept of emerging this technology starts from into the market of 1987. Before that, we are using a standard conventional machines as well as CNC machines for the production of parts as prescribed by the customers. So now they are move on that in 1987 they think it of any other alternative methods are available to get the product at lesser time. The first commercial rapid prototyping process was brought in the year of 1987. And nowadays, more than 30 different processes with high accuracy and large choice of materials are existed. So once the process started, then the development is going on the particular field. Nowadays, more than different process based on raw material, based on the speed, based on the accuracy. Different process in the same RP technologies are available with high accuracy, and large choice of material exists, starting from polymer metal to metals. Polymer material to metals, a large choice materials are available. Depends upon the material selection, you can choose the type of RP process. It starts from a polymer end with metal. These processes are classified in different ways. The materials used, by the energy used, by lighting of photopolymers, or by the typical application range. How this process are classified? We will discuss the material used, whether it is an ABS material or a polymer material or a metal or alloy. It depends upon the material used as well as the energy used, how much energy required to convert the CAD file into a final prototype product. Energy used by lighting of photopolymers, how much energy source required when I'm using a polymer as a raw material for the conversion of product, how much time required, how much lighting, how much energy source required. That also governs the major factor, and also the typical application range, where it is used, what purpose it is used. These are all the basic qualities of selection of the different RP process. Now, why is RP is required? A question arises, why rapid prototyping occurs? Why I'm telling this? We are moving to the biomedical application. You can visualize why this technology is needed and very essential nowadays. The question arises, why RP? Since machining, if you take a standard machining process, it is a subtractive process, beginning with a solid piece of stuff. For example, you take a machine called lathe. I want to reduce the diameter of particular shaft, for example 50 mm to 40 mm. I loaded the component in the lathe and start doing the machining process. It is removal of material from the existing one. That is called a subtractive process. Subtractive process beginning with a solid piece of a stuff. An example is lathe operation. The machinist must carefully remove material until the desired geometry is achieved. So the operator had an excellent skill and also maintained the proper tolerance level to remove the material until the desired geometry is achieved. If it is exceeded, the product may go to waste. If it is under size, it again requires machining process. Again, it is a time-consuming process. So this is about the machining process. For complex part geometries, when the geometry having a multiple complex specifications, this is an exhaustive. The standard machining process is an exhaustive, time-consuming, and expensive process. For example, a rod consists of pacing, grooving, knurling. Different operations are there. For a complex part geometry, it's an exhaustive. Every time you unload the material, put on another tool, again you have to start the machining process. It's an exhaustive, a time-consuming, setting time, machining time, unloading time, loading time. So time-consuming and expensive process, because we are paid the labors on hourly basis. Might be a particular component. If it is more than 8 hours, you can charge more amount of rate for production of the parts. So time expensive as well as most time consuming as well as expensive process in terms of cost. Some parts are even too complex to be machined. Certain parts are we are not able to machine using a standard machining process. So there comes an alternative manufacturing method called as rapid prototyping. Rapid means fast. Prototyping means a model. That is why it is called as RP. Rapid prototyping. Rapid means fast. The mantra is more volume of production with lesser time. That is the mantra for rapid prototyping. Rapid means fast. Prototyping means a physical model. So this is the base for the invention of this technology. So it depends upon the concept of RP, we can group the RP technique in various perspectives. Generally, all the processes are based a 3D CAD data, a 3D computer aided design data in terms of coordinates, in terms of file format, is sliced into a thin cross-sectional planes by a computer. So whatever the parts we want to manufacture, that should be transferred in terms of dimension to the computer with the CAD files, either Creo or some other software, a standard software. So those 3D data are slid into thin cross-sectional planes by a computer. These cross-sections are sent from the computer to the rapid prototyping machine with build the part layer by layer. Clear? The cross-sections are sent from the computer to the machine, which build the part layer by layer, one layer over another layer. The first layer geometry is defined by the shape of the first cross-sectional plane generated by the computer. So the first layer is defined the shape which we want the cross-sectional area of the required geometry. It is bonded to starting, base, and additional layers are bonded on the top of the first shaped layers according to the respective cross-section planes. So we start building one and one above the layer to get the required dimension of the part. For example, I want 10 mm thickness a model. I start with 1 mm model, initially built it, and above again built one more model with same thickness. By stacking together, I get a final dimensions. That is called as build layer by layer. The machine can move to and fro the particular table direction with the particular table specifications to generate or to form the required dimensions layer by layer. And this process is repeated until the prototype is completed. That means until the required dimension is required or obtained, this process continues. This is called as general concept of RP technique. And what is RP technique? It is a method in which the part is created by a layer additive process, adding one and above called as layer additive, or subtracting called as layer subtractive. Or you can even build the part also. So rapid prototyping is a method in which the part is created by a layer additive process using a specialized software like Creo, ANSYS, Abacus, CATIA, whatever the software available in the market. Using a specialized software, a three-dimensional CAD data or model is cut into very thin layers or cross sections. Very thin layers or cross sections. So whatever you fit into the computer in terms of standard 3D CAD dimensions with help of a standard software package starting with AutoCAD to high-end software are cut into a very thin layers or cross sections. Then depending upon the specific method used, either sintering or FDM or some other method, depending upon the specific method used, sintering or fused deposition modeling or SLS, the RP machine constructs the part layer by layer until a solid replica of the CAD model is generated. The advantages of this process is clear. Development of physical models can be accomplished in significantly less time as compared to the machining process. machine into conventional process. So this process clears the development of a physical model can be get it significantly less time as compared to the machining process. Now the question is why we need a prototyping. What is the purpose of we introduce this concept? Why we require prototyping? That is the first question. Why we require prototyping? First one is visualization. The first parameter is visualization. I want to visualize the part geometries and part structures. Visualization. For example, this is a mouse. I want to see the structures and the geometrical appearance. It's called as visualization. Then design changes. Whenever you want to do some design alterations, or we call it as the design iterations, we need a prototyping. I produced one component with particular specification. I want to less number. Design changes. Then free-form prototyping. That means complex object fabrication as well as visualization. It also required test and packaging, test, fitting and packaging. You need a prototype. The cost, time and resource estimations. This requires prototyping. The process planning. You are aware of the process planning, the mechanical engineer. Which operation to be done first and which operation to be done second in order to get the product with lesser time. That is called as process planning. Sequencing the operations depends upon the requirement. Then first to market. It is critical for today's industries. Though a number of people are manufacturing a particular product, who has marketed first with full-fledged. That also plays a major role for going for a prototyping. So first to market. And then rapid production. Rapid means fast production. To make the component faster. As we discussed in the conventional method, in a ship, we're able to manufacture 100 pieces. If you are adapting the RP technology, we're able to produce 1000 pieces. So rapid production. JIT concept, that is just-in-time concept, zero inventory. Plan, what is JIT? Plan, produce and consume it. That is called as JIT concept, just-in-time. Plan the raw material, produce in the machine, consume it and packing it and dispatch it. That is called as JIT concept, zero inventory. Then rapid tooling or no tooling. Rapid tooling or no tooling. Trend in technology. And this prototyping further group based on different aspects. One is design verification, tooling, concurrent engineering. So if you take design verification, design for manufacturability, design for the exact manufacturing content required, the design for assembly, design for maintainability, design for reliability, design for quality, and design parameters like tolerances and allowances. So these are all induces chosen for or adapting PT technology in as on prototyping technology. Then concurrent engineering. You have heard of concurrent engineering, simultaneous engineering, concurrent engineering. Tooling. Another domain we are focusing tooling. Then this comes reverse engineering. What is reverse engineering? When there is no standard drawings are available. We can extract the dimensional parameters from the product to the drawing. That is doing reverse methodology. I take the product, measure the dimensions, incorporate it, and convert the diagrams. That's called reverse engineering. And die fabrication. Then tool path generation that are in CNC itself. And limited production. So these are all the areas where the PT is emerged or required. So this block diagram shows how you build the part, design a part, convert the part, build the prototype. To design a part using a computer-aided design. That is, best is 3D solid model. And those designed the part in a CAD model are fed into or converted into CAD files. And normally, the CAD files belongs to .stl or IGS. .stl means standard triangulation language file, or you can say one more file is called IGS, interchange exchange system file, interchange graphic exchange system file. So these files are fed into machine to build the part. The part can be built by different methods, either a FDM method or a SLS method or some other method. You can build the part. This is a general definition or the block diagram pertaining to RP technology. Design a part using standard software, and those CAD dimensions are converted to suitable CAD files, normally in the format of .stl or .igs files, and those files are fed into RP machine to build the required prototype. And what are the advantages we are gaining using RP? So this technique is emerged. What are all the benefits or advantages as a manufacturer I can enjoy it? So the advantages of rapid prototyping. Reduced product development time and cost. So in a firm introduced a new product, it starts from design, drafting, manufacturing, production, assembly, packing, testing, and end users. This is the lead time for launching of a product. Each having certain weeks or certain months. Each area consumes certain amount of time to get the final product. So to reduce the product development time and cost, we are going for a rapid prototyping. Second advantage, get products to market sooner. In order to sustain in the market, in order to launch the product ahead of the competitors, I can produce the part as quick as possible and market sooner. So get products to market sooner. That is another advantage. And third advantage, enhance communication between marketing, engineering, manufacturing, and purchasing. So this prototype acts as a tool for communication between the marketing team, between the engineering team, between the manufacturing team, and purchasing team. Those people are given some feedbacks that can be rectified again it is reproduced before going to the commercial production. So it acts as a communication tool to tell about the features of the dimension of the part to the various divisions like marketing, engineering, manufacturing, and purchasing. The fourth one, present a physical model at critical design reviews. Present a physical model at a critical design reviews. Whenever a critical design is there, before releasing the design for the production, we have to check exactness and the dimensional specification, tolerance specifications. We need a physical model. There comes the role or advantage of RP. Present a physical model at critical design reviews. The next one is perform functional prototype testing before committing to tooling. Perform functional prototype testing before committing to tooling. Before start the tooling process, I have to make a functional prototype to check it. Once it is meted the requirement, go for the final tooling and generate precise production tooling. This comes under the category of rapid tooling. We have one more classification called rapid tooling. There we discuss in detail about the various concepts of RP tooling. So generate precise production tooling. So what are all the benefits as an entrepreneur, as a manufacturer, as the company owner I can enjoy by introducing RP technology in my firm? Then another question arises in the mind. What are the benefits of introduction of RP technology as an entrepreneur, as a manufacturer, as a company managing director? What are the benefits and gain? First one is visualization, verification, iteration, association for design engineers. In order to get the very good design of a particular product, you build the initial diagram, initial design, visualize it, and verify the functional requirement. If at all required, go for the iteration. If at all changes required, go for the iteration and do the optimization, especially for design engineers. And second benefits, communication tool for simultaneous engineering. Like concurrent engineering, we have one more terminology called simultaneous engineering. It is a communication tool for simultaneous engineering. And fourth one is the very important one, form and fit test of components. The final form and fit test of the components. So these test samples for marketing studies of consumer design preference. And also this RP technology helps in production planning, efficient production planning. Apart from this technology used in tooling process. And this technology is adapted from metal and polymer parts. Metal prototype fabricated from polymer parts. Tooling fabricated from polymer parts. These are all the benefits of introducing of RP technology in any engineering firm or any industry. Now move on to the types. We already discussed. We have different types based on liquid, based on powder, and based on energy source. We can group in different classifications. The first one is liquid based, solid based, and powder based. So majorly the RP technology broadly grouped into these three categories. One is liquid based RP technology, another one is solid based, third one is powder based. So it depends upon the requirement, depends upon the need, depends upon the specification, depends upon the end using. We can opt any one of the RP process, either solid or liquid or powder based. That means the raw materials are prepared into these three groups. So the first one is solid ground curing, SGC. A series name 5600. A Cubital rapid prototyping system is used for production of parts for commercial usage. Though it is in 1987, a lot of iterations are going. A perfect machine was introduced by a Cubital company with the version of SGC 5268 series. One machine can assure the term. And what are the applications you are gaining? What are the different applications? We already discussed form fit applications, form and fit applications. Here I am given an example, a gun in US Navy, a model of M4A1 as an ABS prototype. Stock was tested on the firing range with live ammunitions. So the prototype builds on FDM system from a company called Statice. This was nothing but, it's not a metal gun, it's a prototype manufacturing gun to ensure before going to the regular production whether it meets all the functional aspects, form fit function aspects. So this is invented and it was tested in US Navy. The gun type is called M4A1 machine gun, made up of ABS material, acrylic butadiene styrene material. The raw material is ABS, acrylic butadiene styrene. The stock was tested on the firing range with live ammunitions. The prototype built on FDM systems from Statice. The company called Statice launched this particular. Then another one is investment casting. The another version of a Statice company is called investment casting. This used a wax curtain built from Statice multi-jet droplet techniques. You can see this diagram is pertaining to investment casting. A wax curtain built from Statice multi-jet droplet techniques used. Pattern used in investment castings to fabricate metallurgy. It allows for the design modification and quick turnaround of metal band. This is another domain of RP technology in investment casting. And medical use, where you can find the nowadays the medical use of RP technology. Models of cerebral arteria, malformation and surrounding skills with data from CT angiogram. Built with a stereolithographic RP process, allows advanced neurological surgery or planning. For example, a person have a complicated tumor in brain. Before going for the regular surgery, the surgeon wants to check, because he wants to perform a complicated surgery. So he wants to check or have a train before start the process. So he build the exact type of skull with brain using ABS material as the data transfer from CAT, CT from CAT, and he has to practice what are the areas to be removed. So you can find the major use of this technique in medical industries. So allowed advanced neurosurgical planning, because surgery is very critical and also life threat. So we have to do a perfect and a crucial critical manner. So we have to train or have to perform a number of surgical with a prototype. There comes the need of this RP in medical industry. So one product manufactured by FDM process, a car or Jeep type example of RP product. This is a single product manufactured in a single process. The entire diagram is converted into CAD file, which fed into a standard RP machine to get the final product. It's a single piece, not a multi-piece, it is a single piece product. You draw the dimensions of this particular Jeep, which convert into CAD files, which in turns into .stl file or IGS files, which is fed into a standard RP machine, FDM or SLS, to get the single product. So we can get the intricated, complicated parts and protrusions in a single shoot. A few more type of products manufactured by RP. A blade, a spanner, a housing, again a housing, again a shaft, again one more component pertaining to industrial use. So these are all the few products able to manufacture using RP technology by adapting anyone, FDM or SLS or SLA. You can able to get it. So based on the application, based on the types, The classification of PT technology. One is subtractive process. We shall call it as material removal process. Example, milling, turning, grinding, machining centers. Used for prototype production. A degree of automation is very less. Next one is additive, material built up. We can add on material to get the required part. Example is stereolithographic. We call it as SLS. SLA, we call it as SLA, stereolithographic. Degree of sophistication vary. Then formative type, that is sculpture type, forging casting. Example is forging casting. When used for prototyping, it is usually manual. This is the classification of prototyping technology, or classification of prototyping technology. To move on to the rapid prototyping process, the resin cube from liquid plastics, we can use a cubitol solid process, or a ground curing process, or a light sculpture layer at time process, or 3D system process, or a stereolithography. All these use a resin as a raw material. These are the different versions of liquid-based RP technology. One is cubitol solid, invented by a company called Cubitol, and another is ground curing, called as solid ground curing, and light sculpturing layer at time. Another company introduced this one, and 3D systems. 3D corporations introduced a particular liquid-based system, and stereolithography. With this company, Cubitol deprived this product, then 3D system produced this product. The next one is lamination. This have again invented by Heliasis. We call it as LOM, laminated object manufacturing. So these are all the different RP process. So what is the sophistication of prototyping technology? How do you call sophistication? Such sophistication technology is with different terms such as desktop manufacturing. RP technology, we call it as desktop manufacturing, rapid prototyping, toolless manufacturing, 3D printing, pre-form fabrication, all called as F3, FQ. We call it as FQ. So all pertain into 3D, all pertain into rapid prototyping with different names. Desktop manufacturing, or rapid prototyping, or toolless manufacturing, and no tool involved, so toolless manufacturing, 3D printing, 3-dimensional printing, pre-form fabrications, we call it as FQ. So this sophistication of this technology plays a major role in different domains. One is fabrication process, another is the degree of automation required, and third is ability of build complex objects. To take the fabrication process, the process must take a material in some shapeless form and turn out solid objects with definite shape. This is called as fabrication process. You go to the degree of automation, high degree of automation. Since prototyping is a stage in a cycle, it is expected the technology will enable automated chaining to the before and after links in the cycle. And finally, ability to build a complex objects. The more complex the build object, the more sophistication the technology. And tooling, there is no tooling at all. Less tools is better. So why the technology is sophisticated? I am listing all the features. One-shot operation. So one single part is produced entire dimensions, entire assembly part. One-shot productions, no assembly of parts, etc. Time. The less the time, the better is there. A closeness to serve the purpose of the prototype. That means accurate representation of the design. Flexible. Should be a flexible one. That is modification, additional parameters, and scaling will be done whenever required. Equipment depends upon the size, weight, maintenance, and cost. We can group into the different RP equipments. Economical, both equipments and operating cost ensure the economical aspects of economical sophistication of safety technology. Clean and safe operations ensure a safe operation as well as cleaned operations. And user friendly, more is user friendly, more versatile is user friendly. There is no need of a skilled operator required. We need a minimal skill to run the machine. Once you know the conversion of CAD wheel into a required geometry, you just switch on the machine, put a push button, it starts producing. So there is no need of skilled operator. It should be user friendly one. So the base one is resin. Diagram shows the resin. The Cubitol offers a general purpose resin that contains no NVP. No NVP means N vinyl pyroradine. This picture demonstrates the durability. Even I am applying a resin here and make the part using a standard FDM process, SLS process, SLA process. I can ensure the durability. So based on the above benefits, based on advantages, based on the technology development, we group the RP process into 3 major divisions. Generally, nowadays much more divisions are coming, but generally from 1987, these are the major divisions. One is fused deposition. One is fused deposition. The companies are Statice and FDM. Then sintering, the company is called GTM Corporation. The process is called as selective resin sintering. Then third one is ballistic particle, called it as BPM, ballistic particle manufacturing. The company is called 3-dimensional printing, or you can say droplet formation, ballistic impact primitives, and surface formation. So these are all the 3 general categories initially invented by RP technology introduced. The FDM is fused deposition modeling, is a liquid base. A company is called Statice invented this machine. And sintering is using a powder to sinter the required dimension by application of laser. So the company is called as the GTM Corporation. We call it as SLS process, selective sintering process. And third one is BPM, ballistic particle manufacturing. We call it as BPM. It comes under the category of 3-dimensional printing, droplet formation, ballistic impact primitives, or you can say surface formation. So this diagram shows the first generation of RP machine, a stereolithographic machine. So this is the system or computer. This is the component I want to be manufactured. With step and a circular and is a component I want to manufacture using RP technology. So the diagrams are drawn and these are converted into suitable CAD files. Connect to the RP machine via laser beam. And there is a mirror system is there. Ensure the duplication of parts. So this data are transferred to the RP machine. The laser emerges heat. The heat cures the resin bar, which kept under the platform. So the model is built layer by layer by depositing the laser beam. Wherever the laser beam exposes, it gets hardened and the part is built. This is the model required. This is the base to support structures. Once it's completed, pull down the component, cut the base, utilize the rest of the component. Base to support structures, elevator platform to elevate the support structure to the top post part of the table. We need elevator platform. Use a liquid photopolymer tank where the resins are deposited or poured. The application of lasers, we can able to build the part. So wherever the resins are exposed by a laser beam, it gets hardened and produce the parts. This is another view of the same machine, a simple one, a laser scanning system. This supports, this is called as recoater blades, where the resins are filtered. This move to and fro and up and down. The platform can be raised up and down, whereas this scanning system moves to and fro. Another view of sintering process. For stereolithography, we use a laser. This is the component to be fabricated, a mechanical component with boss and a circular diameter or flange. We are able to manufacture by depositing in a tank. We are able to build the part. So the resin is poured inside this tank. The dimension of the part is come from the computer. Once the heat from the laser emerges, it starts hardening and build the layer by layer. So once the required dimension obtained, that bottom plate is removed, the bottom support is removed and dissolved and used once again for the next production. So this technology emerged in the year of 1986, patented. This is the first kind of RP revolution. This technique builds 3D models from liquid photosensitive polymers that solidifies when exposed to ultraviolet rays. See the concept? The technique builds a three-dimensional models from liquid photosensitive polymers that solidify when exposed to ultraviolet rays. As shown in figure above, the models is built upon a platform situated just below the surface in a vat of a liquid epoxy or acrylate resins. A low power, highly focused UV light, UV laser traces out the first layer, solidifying the model cross section while leaving the excess areas liquid. This is the basic concept of stereolithography. It uses a liquid resin using a laser heat, harden the resin part and get the required product. To continue the concept, next an elevator is there which can govern or which can function incrementally lowers the platform into the liquid polymer. So we need an elevator. The part is dipped into the liquid solution by an incremental mode. So we need a elevator incrementally lowers, say 5 mm, 5 mm, incrementally lowers a platform into the liquid polymer. A sweeper recoats the solid layer with the liquid, and the laser traces the second layer at top. This process is repeated until the prototype is completed. Afterwards, the solid part is removed from the vat and rinsed clean to the excess liquid. The supports are broken off and the model is then placed in an ultraviolet oven for complete curing. Make it that the concept of this technology is given here. Supports are used, and this can be removed after the completion of manufacturing process, dissolving in an VAT solution. SLA is a short form of stereolithographic apparatus. And these machines are made since 1988. Systems of Vulcania PA. To this day, the 3D system is the industry leader, selling more RP machine than any other company because it was the first technique. We sold a lot, not lot number of pieces, a lot number of machines to the customers or manufacturers because it was first technique. This SLA is regarded as the benchmark which other technology are judged. This is the pioneer of the other technology, other modern technology introduced. Early SLA prototypes are brittle, fairly brittle, and prone to curing, induced rappage and distortion. The early stage, this SLA process faced some quality aspects issues like the prototypes are fairly brittle and prone to curing, induced warping and distortion. But recent modifications have largely corrected these issues. Nowadays, these issues are sorted out in SLA. Now move on to the resin. I already told you we need resin material is required to build the part. What is resin? We call it as SL resin. If you take a polymer point of view, the chemistry point of view, SL resin is a liquid photocurable resin. We call it as photocurable resin. Its characteristics is fully 100% reactive component, energy efficient, require 50 to 100 times less than energy required than the thermal coating process. Then polymerization, it is a process of linking small molecules with a larger molecules comprised of many monomer units. So that is called as polymerization. You are polymering, you are linking one molecule to another molecule, make it as a huge number or a mass. To check the properties changes, shear strength increases, density, and from liquid to solid linkages. And polymerization occurs in SLA through the exposure of liquid resin to a laser. How this is done? The polymerization occurs in SLA through the exposure of liquid resin to the laser. So the layer thickness to be polymerized is given by the amount of liquid which have been recoated on the part. Clear? The layer thickness of the polymer is the layer thickness of material is done by the polymerization process. To be exposed to liquid resin to laser, the layer thickness to be polymerized is given by the amount of liquid which has been recoated on to the part, and any excess laser radiations which penetrates this air acts to slightly increase the curing process. The important properties for selecting the resins has to made with posture, shrinkage, and resulting posture distortion. And moving. the desirable features of SL resins. Are you able to view the screen? Mani sir? Hello? Mani sir? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is
Yes, sir.
visible. Please go ahead.
Yeah. The desirable features of SL resins are improved impact resistance, greater flexibility, improved photo speed, increased strength, better overall part accuracy, and electrical conductivity, high temperature resistance, and solvent resistance or vice versa. These are all the desirable features of stereolithographic resins used. Some measures to reduce the distortions. Use high exposure and slow scan speed such that the polymerization is essentially complete under the laser spot. Use resin with faster rate of polymerization. Decrease the laser power to decrease the scan speed for a given exposure. Use low shrinkage ratio. Increase the layer thickness to increase the strength. These are all the some measures to reduce the distortion during the process. So the SLS process having some application range, parts used for functional test, manufacturing of medical models, form fit functions for assembly test. The advantages are no geometric limitations, high resolutions, can fully automized and no supervision is required at all. Possibilities of manufacturing part which are impossible to produce conventionally in a single process. Take the disadvantage, necessity to have a support structure which add additional cost, require labor for post-processing and cleaning. We need additional labor to do the post-processing process and cleaning process. These are all the few disadvantages of. The next one is LOM, laminated object manufacturing. This is also one type of that one. The raw material in form of rolls. The raw materials are in form of rolls. The rolls are fed into the bed. While the rolls are running, the platforms are raised. Wherever the dimensions, due to the heated lasers, the parts are manufactured. This is called as laminated object manufacturing. Wherever the dimension required, the heat is observed and required part is produced and it is collected in the platform. The take-up role is supply the material and supply role is to the unwind the after the we have a roller is there, roller is rolled over the raw material such that the part is produced, it is deposited in the platform. And another view of RP, laminated object manufacturing. How this can be worked out. So what all the parts constitute of LOM? It consists of a laser, a take-up roll and platform, material supply roll, sheet material, laminating roller, laser, heated roller, positioning device, or optics to focus, laser beam to the required zoom. So these are all the parts that constitute LOM. So this is a diagram of the LOM with simplified versions. Being able to understand, being able to know what are the parts available. And this technique was introduced by a company called LASS of Torrance in CA. They use adhesive coated material, a sheet material are bonded together to form the prototype. So the roll, supply rolls, supply it, and the winding roll, winding it. So this roll is used to build the part. Adhesive coated sheet material is bonded together to form prototype. So the original material consists of a paper laminated with heat activated glue and rolled upon the spools. As shown figure below, the feeder or collector mechanism advanced the sheet over the build platform. Then the focused laser cuts the outline of the first layer into a paper and then cross section hatches the excess area. So during the build, the excess material provides an excellent support for overhangs and thin wall sections. After the first layer is cut, the platform lowers the cut of the way and fresh material is advanced. So once the first material is cut, it's dropped down via the platform and the sheet is rolled. The second layer is start to cutting process. This is the working principle. After 2001, this is no longer in business. The development of few more technology. This particular technology winding the life history in the year of 2001. Application range, visual representation model, large bulky models or sand casting patterns. To take advantages, variety of organic inorganic materials can be used. Process faster than the other process. No internal stress and undesirable deformations. LM can deal with discontinuities where objects are not close to complexity. Disadvantage: hollow parts cannot be built using LIM. And parts with thin walls in the z directions cannot be made using LIM. The stability of the object is bonded by the strength of the glued layers. So these are the disadvantages. Next one is FDM. FDM machine. This is a FDM machine. It having a wires, thermoplastic wires, rolled in a spool. It continues deposited to form the product. Used deposition modeling process. Then particular machines. The diagrams are here. CAD diagrams are transferred to machine where the real part is produced using FDM process. The company is called Statistics. Next one is sintering. Even you can use the powder technology for building the part. So it is laser sintering process. Selective laser sintering. Wherever the zone required, we can focus the laser to be sintered. It is called as selective laser sintering. Using a carbon dioxide laser with the following parts. So the object is sintered and compacted wherever the laser exposed to the zone. Another view of SLS process. This is another representation of SLS process. We have a powder supply, powder form, raw material, powder bed, a roller, mirrors, prototype, and this is the prototype required. This can be produced here. This can be STL file, STL file into laser. Laser reflects the mirrors, mirror focus the heat into the powder bed. Whenever the rollers roll over the bed, it starts producing a given component, which can be accumulated to contain in the bottom of the platform. This was developed by Carol Deckard in year 1899. And later it was streamlined, improvised by a separate company called DTM Machines in Austin. The initial was done by Carol Deckard, University of Texas. It was 1989, and depends upon the need, depends upon the usage, depends upon the modification. Later, exclusive machine was done by the DTM Corporation. This is how the SLS system works. A, B, C. A, upper the platform. C, roll over the parts. B, lower the platform. These are the parts produced by SLS, sintering process. Go to the application range as usual. Visual representation, functional tough prototypes, cast metal font, advantage, flexibility will be used. No need to create a structure to support the part. Parts to be require any post curing except with ceramic is used. Disadvantage during solidification, additional powder may be hardened at the borderline. The roughness is the most visible when parts contain sloping or stepped surfaces. It's an advanced version of SLS called as solid ground curing process. It also belongs to powder based. It is little bit next version. So your spray resin, develop photo mask, exposed mask, vacuum unfilled resin, spray wax and milk pad. These are given here. These are the steps. Spray mask, expose and everything. Developed by a company called Cubital. It also called as SGC, solid ground curing. It is similar to SLA process. It also used polymers as well as ultraviolet ranges. It's on the glass plates. Apart from this, few more processes are available. Other processes are ballistic particle manufacturing, 3D printing, and model maker. This is the advanced version of the 3D printing technology. Move on to the fuse deposition modeling. The filament or the raw material fall on the rollers and it moves the direction, drive the wheels, and tip is here and generate the plot. So it is fuse deposition modeling. This technique, filaments of heated thermoplastic are extruded from the tip that moves in XY plane like a baker decorating a cake. A controlled extrusion head deposits very thin beads of material on the built platform to form the first layer. The platform is maintained at a lower temperature so that the thermoplastic quickly hardens. After the platform lowers, the extrusion head is deposits a second layer upon the first. Supports are built along the way, fastened to the part either with the second or weaker the material or with perforated junction. The company is a standardized company. Material is ABS material or elastomers or a polycarbonate or a polyphenosulfate and investment casting wax. The application range, already told you, constitution modeling, quick form applications. Advantage, quick and cheaper. There is no worry of exposure to toxic chemicals. Advantages. Disadvantage, restricted accuracy due to the shape of the material used. Wire size is maximum 1.27 diameter. Beyond that, you cannot use this particular process. This is an extended version of FDM called as 3D inkjet printing. It is introduced by a person called Soligan Corporation, developed by MIT, a company called Z Corporation, 3D printer. Works on the principles of inkjet, like about laser. Whatever the printer used in the day-to-day activity, similar was the basic principle behind the inkjet printing. How you draw a diagram in a computer, just put a print, you can get the printout format as a Word document. Similar way, you draw a component diagram, click the print icon, you get the product using 3D printer. These are all the different versions of 3D printer. Replica 3D scanner, BI910 scanner front view, PA9 scanner back view. So it depends upon the need, depends upon the dimensional accuracy, depends upon the dimensional range. We can opt to different types of 3D scanner. These are all the parts printed by 3D printer. So the comparisons, how do you compare this? A company called Cubital, a company called 3D System. I'm taking the process traditional name. It is a Cubital or Solider. It is called a stereolithography. The cost is switch of dollars, and this first version is 250. The first version, it comes with dollars. The work envelope, the maximum size 20 into 14 into 20. It is 20 by 20 by 23. The process is resin cured by UV light, transmitted through mask. Here resin cured by laser using viewing technique and post cure. Advantages: largest work envelope, can build several parts at once. Use wax to support the prototype. Do the comparison to light sculpturing and helices. The process name or trade name is layer to layer time. This is called as LOM. It cost comes around $99,000. It comes from $85 to $140,000. Work envelope 6 by 6 into 9 inches, 20 by 20 into 30 inches. Process resin cubed by UV light through a series of photoplotter prepared mask. LIM cut appear or plastic sheets. This is a comparison of strategies with DTM cartridge. A comparison of DPM with 3D printing consortium team. This is SLA 350 machine, industrial grade used in a manufacturing company where the real part is built within a shorter span of time. So on finally go to the cost comparison and time comparison. The 3D system, if you use SLA 500 machine, it consumes 7 hours and 3 minutes, whereas Cubital Solidar consumes 11 hours and 21 minutes, whereas GTEM Sinter consumes 4 hours 55 minutes. So the cost is here. So from we can able to understand which one can be preferred for our studies or for our production line. So these are the types of modeling technique available: wireframe modeling, surface modeling, and solid modeling. The CAD input systems are how the CAD systems are converted. We have IGS file, initial graphics exchange standard file, or a .sl cinematographic file format, or standard triangulation language file. Apart from this, we can use few more CAD files. It depends upon the company's choice. The GTM Corporation used .sl and IGS, whereas Cubital used Pro Engineer, STL and CFL, Cubic front-end language file, whereas BPM Technology used 3D solid model. Again, another companies, Light Sculpturing Incorporation used .sl, DFX, IGS, Helices. Company strategies use this one. Move on to the medical application for 3D printing. So far, we discussed about the different versions of printing technology, different versions of printing process, and conversion parameters, and the keen process of manufacturing a product. Now, to the medical application for 3D printing. So this is modeling, printing, and finishing. Virtual blueprints from computer-aided design or animated model software are sliced into a digital cross-section to be used as a guidelines for printing. This is machine printing. 3D printers read the designs and lay down successively layers of material which compressed correspond to the virtual cross-sections. These are joined together to create the final object. Finishing, after finishing, supports are removed, dissolved. In some cases, sanding, sealing, buffing, or painting may be required. So these are machines. 3D printing of radiographic images. How the radiographic images or MR images are converted to digital 3D print files. Two-dimensional radiographic images such as X-rays, MRI, or a computer tomographic scans can be converted into digital 3D print files, allowing the creation of complex, customized anatomical and medical structures. Need the tissue or organ failure due to aging, diseases, accidents, and birth defects is a critical medical problem. So current treatment for the organ failure release mostly an organ transplant from living or deceased person or donors. However, there is a chronic shortage of human organs available for transplant. So approximately in the year of mid-2016, 121,000 people in the US are waiting for the organ transplant. The organ transplant surgeries follow is also expensive, costing more than the $500 billion. It's an additional problem in that organ transplantation involves it's often difficult to task finding out donor which is the tissue matches. If the tissue is not matched, leads to issues. Therapies based on tissue engineering and regenerative medicines are being pursued as a potential solution for the organ donor shortage. So these are all the issues needed for going for a application of 3D printing process in medical field. The process for bioprinting organs: create a blueprint of organ which is vascular architecture, generate a bioprinting process plan, isolate stem cells, differentiate the stem cells into organ specific cells, prepare a bioink reservoirs with specific cells, blood vessels and support medium and load them to the printer. Bioprint: place the bioprint organ in a bioreactor prior to transplantation. So these are all the medical applications for 3D printing. Tissue and organ fabrication, creation of customized prosthetics, implants and anatomical models, pharmaceutical research regarding drug dosage forms and delivery. Go to tissue and organ fabrication, how it is done. So what are all the parameters to be considered while go for tissue and organ fabrication? Is 3D printing, 3D bioprinting. Customized implants and prosthetics. It is used to fabricate implants for dental, spinal and hip implants within 24 hours. Previously, before implants could be used clinically, they have to validate it. It's very time consuming. Now the commercial and clinical success of customized implants and prosthetics. The research team in Biometrics Institute of Belgium successfully implanted the first 3D printed titanium mandibular prosthesis. You see the commercial clinical success of customized implant. Today, 99% of hearing aids that fit into the ear are custom made using 3D printings. Previously it was done by ordinary metals. Nowadays, 99% hearing aids are made up of 3D printing parts. Anatomical models for surgical preparations. I already told you when the tumor is there, how can it be a surgical operations? We need a training or we need a models to do that one. So this anatomical models can be made with a bioprinting technology or by 3D printing technology. These are all the two elements we can make. A 3D model used for surgical planning by neurosurgeons at Waterretter National Military Center. These researchers have clinical data for CA scan that are used to make the custom 3D printing medical models. Even if used for drug deliveries you can use it. The complex drug profiles is also possible. Benefits of 3D printing in medical applications. Customized prosthetics and implants. Printing can produce made to order jigs and fixtures in user printing rooms. Custom made implants, fixtures and surgical tools can have a positive impact in terms of time required for a surgery, patient recovery time and success of the surgery implant. Increased cost efficiency. Enhanced productivity and collaboration democratization. Another way where you can find the application of 3D bioprinting. 3D exchange done by NIH, National Institute of Health. And barriers and controversies we have faced this one. And majority is unrealistic expectation and hype, safety and security, patent and copyright concerns. These are all the barriers and controversies we have faced. The future trends where you can find the bioprinting or 3D printing usage in a medical fields. The conclusion: 3D printing has become the useful and potential transformative tool in number of different fields, including medicine. As the printer performance, resolutions, and available materials have increased to have the applications. Researchers continue to improve the existing medical applications that use of 3D print technology and to explore new ones. The medical advances that have been made using 3D printing are already significant and exciting, but some of the more revolutionary applications such as organ printing will need to evolve. The conclusions. There are a few images made with 3D printing in medical field. Harvard team 3D prints blood vessels. Blood vessel line tissues that could one day be used as a test drugs. 3D printing creates low-cost prosthetic figures. And this 3D printed polymer implant to receive the FDA approval. Heart valve. A German butcher at Harvard University has printed a heart valve that will be soon be tested and shipped. Dual syringe edition, he was able to print a combination of allignate and smooth muscle cells and walled interstitial cells to control the valve stiffness. A 3D printed heart from metallized heart print catalog, cardiac models. These are all the different medical equipment and synthetic skins are also possible using 3D printing. 3D printing is uniquely diverse. You can see the 3D printing areas where you can find 3D printing is medicine, customized and volume. Hyper's reality. Tissue printing flow illustration. And staging what the 3D bioprinting to the table. This is a case study given by them. The reference used for this presentation, the links and papers and articles used for this presentation, important links for the manufacturer point of view. Thank you. Thank you. Sir, what is that?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, everything okay, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, at the next feedback session, by plan.
Okay, sir.
Dear participants, if you clarify for this session, if you ask any questions for this session. Dear participants, hello? Hello? Participant?
Yes, sir.
If you ask any one question. Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Hello, participant? Any doubt? Any clarification? Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Audible, sir.
Quality control features for the 3D printing production department, sir, or plant.
Which one, sir?
Quality control features for 3D printing plant, production plant.
I couldn't understand the question, sir.
Quality control features, sir, for
Control
3D
features.
printing.
Yeah,
Yes.
the dimensions, the stability, the quality aspects are the control features. If you refer the previous slides, with the first initial start slides, you can see that. at different aspects. The damage disability, yeah, related to the damage disability, sir.
Damage. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
If any questions?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Is there any option of recycling of waste or support materials?
Which one, sir? Any?
Is there any option? Is there any option of recycle of supportive materials, support or waste
Yes, sir.
material?
It can dissolve again. It is used, sir. The support materials are usually given for to avoid the any because damage is critical. To avoid the damage, it has used the same material. Once the part is produced, you can dissolve into the liquid, which in turn dissolve support materials, and this can be recycled used, sir. Once again.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
If anybody? Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir, for the today's presentation. Very nice and valuable one. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's go to photo session. So all the participants unmute the video to take photos, sir. Now. Anything else? Any participant? Anything else? Tomorrow start next session, session number 10. Session start at 10 a.m. So all the participants request to attend all the participants. So main thing, minimum 80% of attendance is must, and also last day, last session, 15th session, contact test. So in this test, minimum 60 marks to score it. So if you fulfill the attendance 80%, and also you score 60 marks for the test, is eligible to give us a e-certificate for AICTE. And also last session, everything to be finished. So all the participants, you are logged in the AICTE portal to give us a feedback. So if you fulfill for everything means to generate e-certificate from AICTE. So only 80% of attendance compulsory must, 60% of mark is must, and final session you are logged into AICTE portal, Atal portal, you are give us a feedback about the program. So after everything to be fulfilled, it we generate automatically e-certificate. So that is most important. Once again, I remind that.
Sir, for the
Hello?
sir, AICT registration process, please.
Hello?
Hello.
Sir, you are individually call me, sir. You are having number, sir?
No, sir.
Or WhatsApp you are sharing, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. I will WhatsApp you.
Okay, sir. So main thing very important, all of you attend the program and also involve the exam. That is important.
Okay, sir. Write the exam.
Yes. The test is from each and every session PPT, based on PPT, to prepare questions.
Sir, is that the exam of MCQ or anything else?
MCQ, based on MCQ, objective
Okay.
type, multi-choice
Okay, sir.
question.
Sir, you have
Okay.
told something about the AICT registration.
AICT register.
There are 3 tips. 80% attendance in that.
Yes. Our AICT Atal is prescribed a minimum 80% of attendance is must. If the program is going on 5 days, if you fulfill minimum 80% attendance, having 14 session and final session is a feedback session. So at least 12 to 13. 12
Sir,
to 13 session you are attended. That is eligible.
sir, feedback means daily session basis feedback or any other feedback of AICT you are having.
Each and every session for our purpose and also attendance purpose to
Okay.
collect the feedback each and every session about
Okay,
the college, about the research person and other things for the session.
Oh,
Finally,
okay.
individually, all the participants, if you are go to AICT Atal login, they log in to fulfill the feedback about the program, 3D printing and design for our college. So if you are fulfilled means, everything you are fulfilled means, you are eligible to approve to grant e-certificate from AICT.
Sir, please share the link for
That is important.
AICT portal, sir, in our WhatsApp group.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In
That
our
is,
WhatsApp group.
at the time of your registration, you are having a login. So individually participant go to AICT to log in your portal to give us a feedback at the end of the day, last session, Friday.
Okay. At the end,
Friday evening.
and
Friday evening, you are give us a feedback, overall feedback about the program from AICT portal. You are applying.
okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Any other doubt?
No, sir.
If you have any other doubt, means you are sharing the WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.